Hey, C4, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you, brother. Getting everything all in tune here. Glad to see you. I'm trying to get this thing all ready here. And hey, Tony, good to see you. Thank you. Water possibility. Hello. I got my medicine here, and I'm not gonna turn my camera on tonight, but we're gonna sit down and we're gonna have a little. Hey, Snake Bite, thank you for coming. We're gonna have kind of open mic tonight. And I tell you what, this stuff has been in my lungs for quite some time, about 2 weeks now, dealing with this. It's getting better. Hey, JM, thank you for coming. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, that's right, Snakebite. I am breathing, but it's you know, I got my medicine to help me breathe. I tell you, it comes in handy. Comes in handy. Okay. Hey, Joe McBride, good to see you. Good to see you. Glad you made it. You're more than welcome to come up. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Barbara. How you doing? I don't know, Barbara. There's something in my lungs that's been just kicking my ass for a couple of weeks, and I'm better than I was last week because I couldn't even hardly sit up and stuff like that. So I've been getting by. There's I don't think it's that. I think there's something else. AJM, thank you for coming. Was worried. I appreciate a snake bite. I was worried about myself too because I could like when you don't sleep at night and stuff like that. So it kicks your butt. I think Jill McBride ought to come up. Hey, there we go, JM. Thank you for coming up.
Hey, Rocky. Glad to.
Good to see you, brother.
You too. I'm glad to hear that you're back online now.
Oh yeah, I tell you that it was some pretty bad stuff. There was, the strange thing of it was, it's not just me sick. There was two other techs that was sick. Hey, Zardoff, thank you for coming. There was two other techs that was sick and staying out,
Hmm.
and at the worst time to get sick like that. And it seemed like there's a lot of people in my area that are sick. You know,
Yeah.
what about your area, JM?
Well, like I don't know. I haven't done any survey. I haven't read or seen anything about that. Uh, localized to my area. I can tell you, my mom's been a little bit under the weather for a few weeks, and it's a similar like congestion.
Yep.
And the suggestion I made to her, and everyone should consider it when you cough up that phlegm. Make sure, if there's any way you can, hork it out. What I've noticed is so many people, they cough and you can hear it, it's really congested, and then they don't hork it out. I'm like, well, that means they swallowed it. And what's happening is your body's trying to get rid of it, and by not horking it out, you're digesting what your body's trying to get rid of. If you know what I mean.
Yep, that's a good. I like that. I don't
Hork
like
it out.
swallowing. I definitely try and get it somewhere. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
So,
Sorry, I didn't mean to gross anyone out there, but
well, I mean, it's
it's true.
just a fact of life. Yeah, you're sick. You're sick.
If I'm in my car, I roll the window down, hork it out the window. Like,
Exactly, exactly. And
as long as
we've been having such. It's been raining here for like 2 weeks straight, and I'm out there in that rain. Hey, Beto, thank you for coming. Uh, I'm out there in that rain and working out in it and stuff like that. It's just, I get in a rain suit and stuff like that, but you can only stay out there for so long, and
It gets into your bones, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
One thing I wanted to mention to you, Rocky, is Stefan Lassie Farm was asking about you 2 3 days ago. He's like, "JM, have you heard anything from Rocky?" And I said, "Well, no, not in a week or so, but um, just so you know, he was looking for you."
To the my station there, and it's I mean, oh dang it, quit. There we go.
A 79.
Hey, 79 is back. Hey, good to see you, 79. Thank you for coming. Hey, Tom, how y'all doing? It's just the simple fact is that uh, they're just growing by leaps and bounds, and and they're when you're understaffed, it's horrible. It's a so it really is. Uh, it's horrible, and so it just one of those things that happens that it just happens. And like
Yeah.
I got, I tell you, the best medicine that I found to sleep at night is a hot toddy. I tell you what, that's my go-to. That's better than any kind of antibiotics or anything. It's all natural, and you're getting your vitamin C through the lemon and everything, and the clove and
Yeah.
honey, and it's really good.
Yeah. A lot of people talk about having like a teaspoon of high quality olive oil once a day too.
Olive oil, huh? I cook with real olive oil,
Yep.
but
So
I didn't think about just taking olive oil. Should I put it like on a salad or something like that? You think?
you don't need to. If it's high quality, it'll taste just a little bit sweet, and you can just take a teaspoon of it and just slurp it right off the teaspoon.
That's interesting because talking about olive oil, I get started doing some research in olive oil, and they say premium olive oil uh, is not what you want. What they call virgin olive oil is what you want. That's pure olive oil in the
Yeah.
smaller bottles,
Yep.
and
It's expensive, but it's really good for your heart too, apparently.
yeah, exactly. And so I just like I need everything I can to help me out with in that direction because of everything that is going on. Because when I get there in the morning, we're so busy that I don't. We're supposed to get breaks during the day, but I don't have time to take a break. I work through breaks most of the time, and working out of my van and stuff like that. We don't. It's just nonstop. I
Yeah.
do take a break. I do take a lunch break though. I sit down for about 30 minutes, and I don't even eat. These last 2 weeks, I just sit down and get on my phone and try and do stuff. And I'm still dealing with my credit. When if you remember sometime back when I was telling everybody I got hacked, my credit got hacked, and
I do remember that.
I'm still dealing with that. I'm just about done with it, but I'm gonna have to get on the phone tomorrow and straighten out a couple other things and making sure that there's a couple of things that I got to make sure that is in order and stuff like that. Because I think I got it in time, but
Hmm.
I still don't. I don't trust what's going on. Have you heard about this new scam about these scammers are stealing your phone SIM card information? Have you heard about that?
I have heard that there is a SIM card scam going on. Yes,
It,
but
it,
yep. Go ahead.
that's scary.
Yeah, there's a lot of scary stuff out there. I was going to say my younger brother's credit cards have got hacked 3 times in the last 4 or 5 years, and
Wow.
it's a nightmare every time.
Well, I think the best thing I did was because the first thing I did is I froze all three credit agencies. I froze them up, and I had certain passwords on my every one of my Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. All of them, I have to have either a number I set up or a code or something like that to get in there to change anything. They're locked down tight.
Yeah.
And I think that's what saved me on some of this stuff. So, and that's what I'm going to deal with tomorrow is a couple more loose ends that I got to check on especially over the week, over the holiday weekends and stuff like that. You got short weeks, and nobody wants to work over those weekends.
Yeah. Yeah, Liberty Bleeds Silver's talking about trip to Thailand, has to buy a SIM card there. Um, I heard the same thing for anyone that goes to Cuba. Like people that go to Cuba for vacation, their phone won't work there. You have to get a phone and a carrier there.
That's that. I had to do when I went to Russia. Hey, Lucky Star, thank you for coming. When I went to Russia, before I left the United States, I got my phone carrier, and I didn't even take my phone. They gave me a new phone that would work overseas,
Yeah.
and that way I could actually call over there and doing that. I highly recommend that. Don't take your actual phone that you have here in the States.
Yeah. Telecommunications is actually one of the most regulated industries in America.
Wow.
Highly. Try to get it. Try to become a telephone company. Very difficult.
Oh, I bet.
Telecom company. Just the red tape that you have to go through is insane.
That is crazy.
I was curious about your thoughts on all the airline crashes in the last 5 or 6 weeks. There's been a plethora of them.
I will give you my input, what I think, but this is off the books. It's not. I'm not. This is not a formal or anything. This is my own thinking.
Yep, just opinion.
There is a video of the plane that crashed in
Korea.
that Korean aircraft liner.
Yep.
Now, there's a few things that I want to bring out to everybody, and y'all can kind of comment from there. Now, if you look at that video, the plane is coming in like controlled. I mean, like it had power, that both engines were running. I was told that they said that one of them wasn't running, but I don't believe it because
Okay.
if you look at that video, both of them are running. That plane that was a 737-800, and that plane is very reliable, and it's been on the air for thousands of hours.
Okay.
Now, if you look at that, the flaps on that plane were not down.
Nope. Neither was the gear.
Exactly, and so to kind of give you an idea, the landing gear on those planes have a backup, and if you can't actually drop them down hydraulically, like if you lost an engine, the hydraulics run off of pumps off the engines.
Yeah. You have to reach behind the seat to get to the three things.
That's exactly right. You have a manual, but they also have an electric motor system to drop the flaps down 15 degrees.
Okay.
Now, what I don't understand is why the pilot did not try and bleed off some of his airspeed. I looked at it how he how they first come off the runway, and they said they had a bird strike. He did a
teardrop.
Yep, exactly. He went circle back around and came in. Now, they knew that from when he got bird struck till he came back around, there was 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, fire department wasn't called. They didn't spray any foam on the runway to keep it from, sparking or catching on fire or anything like that. They weren't present. flaps weren't down and the wheels weren't down. I don't understand. Why wouldn't you start dropping your flaps when you got the bird strike?
Yeah. Plus, I think there was an issue with it. Oh, I forget what it's called. It's like kind of buffering. So he didn't actually make contact with the runway until a third of the runway was already behind him.
Yeah, see, that is, I just, because if you look at the pattern, have you seen the pattern when he got the bird strike?
Yeah, I watched several analysis from several different pilots. The most consistent thing was they said like the biggest blaring problem with that whole crash was the concrete wall at the end of the
Yes,
runway.
yes,
Now
yes.
he didn't land the direction he was supposed to, right? He was going to, and then he decided to turn around, and so he actually landed on the departure direction, right? So he was going the wrong way on it, really. But yeah, they're saying like no runway should have a massive concrete wall like that at the end of it. In fact, it should all be that type of pavement that will stop the plane, say if the brakes fail and everything else. Right, that should be at both ends of every runway.
Exactly. Now, what really kind of blew me away, and this is my own experience. I won't mention what airline, but where I'm at, a plane was 737
Yeah.
300, and it was taking off, and it was in takeoff mode, and the plane was bird struck with an eagle.
Yep.
Now, the engine didn't stall, it did not quit, it kept running, and the airline pilots turned the plane around, brought it back for emergency landing,
Mm-hmm.
and they came back in, and there was not an issue. The landing gears down, the engine was still running when they brought in. So this is what I'm having trouble, because even if the plane engine stopped, those planes are designed to be able to run and land safely with one engine.
That's right.
And so that's what kind of got me kind of like, uh, there's some scuttlebutt that, hey Wendy, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for coming. There's some people think that I talk to that, when the only thing that we can think of that maybe, but we hear again, those engines were running when he was coming down off on the runway. We thought maybe he might have shut off the good engine that did not have a bird strike by
Yeah.
accident,
Yeah.
but both engines were running. So, you know, it'd be really, because they got the black box and they got the voice cockpit recorder out of that plane, and they're looking at it. Hey, DNR, thank you for coming. And so it's really, uh, I can't really be specific what might and might not have happened until they actually do a formal investigation. Talked to the other techs, and we're both scratching our heads, because at least the at least the rudders would have been down trying to bleed off airspeed, but he didn't do that.
My gut feeling is there was an issue. Like there's probably two pilots, right? Pilot and the co-pilot.
Yeah, you have to.
So my gut feeling is that something was up with one of them. You know, like maybe something happened. He had to go run to the bathroom, or maybe he had a heart attack or a stroke, leaving the other one sort of in a panic mode. Like let's say the bird strike happened, and like all the activity, suddenly now we're in a heavy situation. What if one of the pilots has a heart attack right at, as a result of that? Then you're down to just one, and then you're really panicking, right?
Yeah.
I just got a gut feeling that something happened in there, because like even though those engines, they've got reverse thrust. I didn't see any evidence of the reverse thrust in action.
No, that's what I'm saying. They were, coming in for a landing. You do have the cowlings will be moved forward.
Yep.
For the reverse thrust, and that redirects the thrust of the engines. And so I'm kind of like, you didn't see that deployed or anything. So
There's
It's
also emergency maneuver. Like they could have tried to, when you see there's a massive concrete wall in front of you, wouldn't you want to try to avoid it? Like at least steer off to the left or the right a bit? Nope, they
or
went
even pull
straight
your
into it.
nose up trying to get over it, because
Yeah.
that plane was coming in. They had control of the plane. That's what blows my mind because the plane was coming in level. That wasn't out of control.
Yeah.
So the whole thing has just got me just kind of mind boggled. And for a plane like that, it's just it just. I mean, the 737-800 is a very very well manufactured plane.
There was one plane that they were having real problems with back around 2020 where a whole bunch of them were having issues. That was not the 737 then, huh?
It was a 737-900.
Okay, different
Yeah,
version.
they call that the long body or long. It holds more passengers, and what they've done is taken a or Boeing. I didn't do it. Boeing built that plane, a 737, and they stretched it out.
Okay.
And so, if you ever get a chance when you go to the airport and look at a Boeing 737, 800, or 900, if you look at the back of the plane, you will see what they call a tail stand, and that's because the plane is extra long. And when they unload the plane, they don't want the plane to fall back on its tail, and that's why it's
Gotcha.
back there.
Kind of like wheelie bars.
Exactly.
Okay, that's neat. I've already learned a couple new things here tonight. Thanks, Rocky.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, and there were some other ones that I haven't seen that get like the one that we know the one in I think it was KLM was shot down over Russia shot that plane down. Did y'all see a video of that? It,
Yes.
and so we know what happened to that when it was shot down. But there's another one that had no landing gear. Now this is one that kind of blew me away. Is the front landing gear? It landed with no front landing gear,
Okay.
and nobody was killed or hurt or anything like that. The plane went off the end of the runway and stuff like that. But I'm kind of like, why all of a sudden are we having all this landing gear failures on a particular plane that has been a proven good, well built plane? And that's got me kind of uh, you know uh, you know puzzled, and
Hmm.
so it's nothing new. I figured if they were going to do something, go after the 900 because of it having all the trouble in 2000, but they're not. They're good. Yeah, that's and next thing you know, you'll start seeing they're going to start going after the Airbuses. Airbuses are built in France, and that's the ones I think they're going to go after next.
They're built in France.
Yes, they are built in France.
Okay.
Airbuses are French made airplanes.
I did not know that.
They I mean, not that they don't do a bad job, but they're Boeing's direct competitor. You
Okay.
know, and what's really kind of interesting because people that don't keep up with airplanes and stuff like that, I believe it was October or September. I can't remember, but they had the air show in Europe, and they had uh, they had actually taken uh, uh, Boeing had so many contracts for their 737 900s since they got everything all taken care of,
Yep.
and so I wonder if they're trying to, somebody's trying to, you know, hurt them, in that way.
The one plane that I wish I would have got a flight on, but I never did, was the British Airways Concorde. I always thought
Oh,
that was such a cool looking plane.
I was pretty young when that plane came out, and the it's a shame that that plane got retired so quick.
Oh yeah,
And
it just looked like a beast.
the speed of it. I mean, you can fly from Europe to the United States. I think it was a couple of hours or something like that. It was really amazing how fast it was.
It was Mach 2 or 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I believe it was Mach 2. Now, here in the United States, you can't break the sound barrier, which is what they call Mach 1 or 635 miles an hour or something like that is what the speed of sound is.
Yep.
But you can't break that here in the United States.
Okay.
They stopped that years ago, but
Oh, I got to ask you this, Rocky. I'm assuming that you were never really into video games,
correct.
but I wonder if you ever heard of Chuck Yeager's Air Combat.
I have not.
Oh, it was a video game that I used to play back in the late '90s, and it was just awesome. It had everything from the P-51 Mustangs to the MiGs, the was it F4E?
Yes, that's what we use in Vietnam.
Yeah, and you could fly. You could fly all sorts of missions that actually did occur in Vietnam. I think Korea, maybe World War II, or you could do your own custom as well. It was such a cool, like it's nostalgic. If you ever get a chance to
I'll have to look it up. Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty simple, basic game, now these days. But back then, it was just so much fun, and I bet you get a real kick out of because you get to fly all the different planes, and it's actually pretty decent little simulator.
that'd be so cool. To do that. Now, my mentor uh, that I worked with, he was in Guam in 66 and 67, and he was working on. We have a guest. We have the Nickel.
Hey, Nickel.
Yo,
Yo.
So
nailed. I got nailed by somebody on timeout before I got.
I saw that. I saw that. Hey, can you turn your volume down a little bit? You're a little on the loud side there, Nickel. There we go. You're going down. He taught me. I worked with him when I had worked with Lockheed Martin, and he hated working on the F4s because he was in Guam working on B-52s and the F4s. Now, the F4 is a fighter, but you think about it, because he worked on B-52s and F4s, and he hated F4s because they're so small and tight. It's really hard to work on those things because you can't get in there.
Okay.
And it's kind of funny that when you said that F4s, because F4s were extremely fast.
Yep.
Back when they came out, back in the, I guess, middle 60s or late 60s when they came out.
Yeah. It was the F4E was the premier fighter plane of that video game I was talking about.
Yeah.
And the second best one was the MiG-21.
Yeah, he was a character. When he wanted to, hey, son of a silver stacker, thank you for coming, Mike Wolf. Hey, we're getting son of a silver stacker, so good to see you. Thank you so much. I was gonna tell you a story about him. He was stationed in Guam, and they'd fly B-52s from Guam to Vietnam. And so he wanted to get combat pay. So he hitched a ride on one of those I don't know how he did it, but he hitched a ride on a B-52 so he could get combat pay. And so he did a flight over Vietnam one time so he could get combat pay. So it was quite interesting, some of the stories he told me.
Right, that'd be really cool, though.
Son of a Silver Stacker's asking, will there be confirmation tomorrow on the emergency alert, weather alerts? I'm sure there will be. I will be up early in the morning, and I'll email you what I know and what I hear, and that way, you'll know in your area because it's not really coming toward me so much. It's more toward the middle of the unit, like toward Texas and Florida area. So, but it is coming, and I'll let you know. So, Nickel, you going to get some cold weather tomorrow?
We got it now. We got 4 inches of snow.
Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy! Are you going to be out there with basketball in the 4 inches of snow?
Nope.
That's funny. It has been raining every day for the last 2 weeks here, and it has. Mike Wolf says it's already 37 in East Texas. That's pretty cold for Texas.
Yep.
We've been having cold weather, and it's been around 35 to 36. Some days 34, but out in that cold weather in our rain suits, it doesn't matter. You know, it's cold.
And I think a lot of the houses, aren't insulated like they are further north, and same as with like a lot of people that are living in trailers.
Right.
Like you can put your heaters on, but the heat just goes right through the walls.
Well, you think about a trailer. If you live in a trailer, those walls in those trailers, I think they're 2 inches thick.
Yep.
You can't get a whole lot of R factor in 2 inches there. I know up here where I live, we have a minimum is R19, which is 6 inches, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It helps out.
Oh yeah.
What do you have? Do you have like 6-inch walls up there where you're at, JM?
Well, the drywall's half inch usually,
Right.
and then the insulation behind that's usually the pink fiberglass.
Right.
I'm not sure what the actual measurement is, but you know what? I would say it's probably more like 4 inches because it's going to be the framing's all 2x4s, right?
Oh, 2x4. Because wow.
So
Okay.
they stuff that in there, but it could be a higher R factor, right? Like it seems to me it's more like R24 that they put in there, and then the drywall on top of it.
Well, here in where I live, we have code is 2x6 outside walls for insulation, which is R19, and so it's 2x6 here, and so it's
Okay.
some of the older houses are only 2x4, but
Now the other thing that they do here too is they'll blow in like 12, even 18 inches of not spray, but it's insulation that they blow into the attics.
Okay.
Right above the ceilings, which will trap in. A lot of the heat loss goes through your roof if your attic or above the ceiling's not insulated.
Right.
And that's pretty much standard procedure here.
Well, I know here they have in the ceilings here it's R22 or something like that, or 26 in the ceilings, and the walls here are R19 on the new housing. Now, see, older housing doesn't have that. So, what is it in your area there, Nickel?
Hold on, I wanted to just say, looks like Dale corrected me. It's 2x6s since the year 2000 here.
Oh, okay.
Not 2x4.
Okay, because I was going to say at 2x4 you can only get R13 in the wall. So, and that's the way it is down in Texas. That where I'm from is 2x4, which is R13, and on that. So that makes sense because it gets cold up there where you're at, JM.
Yeah. I'm not that far north. Like really, there's lots of areas in the States that are further north than I am. I'm pretty much in the southernmost part of Canada.
Oh, okay.
Dang close, like right by Niagara Falls, Buffalo, New York.
Okay. Well, it's what I did on my particular house when I bought this house to help on. Do you remember back when they had Louisiana Pacific got sued over their siding, and it wasn't up to kosher, and they had all these settlements and stuff like that. So what I did is I took Tyvek and wrapped my house with Tyvek, which is an R3 factor, and then on the top of that I put what they call concrete board, or I can't remember. It's cement board. But anyway, I have that on top of the R3. So I guess my walls are probably like R20, I guess, after I get everything all piled up on it, stuff like that, to cover up the Louisiana Pacific bad stuff that they had on the outside of the houses.
Sounds pretty good.
So is a nickel? What do you have there in Indiana?
I'm not even for sure on it. I have no idea, really, to tell you the truth.
Okay. I was going to say they're. I would think it. You probably got R13 or R19 rather in your walls there in Indiana, because it gets pretty cold in Indiana.
Not as close. We're not as quite as cold as JM gets, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either.
We don't even have snow some years.
Oh, is that right? Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm hoping we miss the ice and the snow this year down here in the valley. But the snow up in the mountains close to me on Mount Hood is really great for skiing and snowmobiling right now. So
nice.
Yeah, it's really up there. So
it's about 25 Fahrenheit here right now.
Fahrenheit, 25 Fahrenheit. So 32 is Fahrenheit is what, like normal?
That's like freezing, I believe, right?
Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking. So hey, long live coins. Thanks for coming. Thank you.
See, so, that's one of the nice things about metric. With temperature, is 0 is freezing in Celsius, and 100 Celsius is boiling for water.
Right. That is nice about that, because when I went to Europe and I was in Russia for a while, and to figure out, I had to learn. Of course, I had a book, because I had to have a book to try and speak the language. Russian language is not easy to learn, and they have 36 consonants to their alphabet. So 36 plus all the rest of them. So it's not easy. I learned a little bit while I was over there.
Yeah, that would be something else. Like even their alphabet and their letters are like none of them are the same as English.
Right. Well, you know what? I'm going to tell, being we're on the subject of Russian, this message is for 79. So 79, I want you to make very good sure. I want you to look this up. And La Blue is very good. So you'll have to look that up. I'm not going to tell you what it is. So we'll see about that. Nickel is being awful quiet. Did you see that, Nickel?
Oh, no. She said something in chat. Let me see.
Yeah, she says Nickel's being awfully quiet.
I thought 79 had muted him.
Yes. No, it's La Blue. L-A-B-L-E is like, but the E off of it, La Blue is Russian. And you have to look that up. So you have to look it up, and there you go. There's a kiss for you, 79. So, you know, when I was over there, that word came out of my mouth quite often. I'll tell you that. And placebo, yes, placebo. So, but anyway, so I want to ask everybody what JM and Nickel, what do you think Silver and Gold's going to do this year?
I let Nickel go first. You first.
I think silver, the low will probably be around 26, and I think the high will probably be around 31, and I think it'll just go back and forth, back and forth. Gold, I don't think it'll get to 3,000, and I don't think it's going to drop, and not this first year of Trump. I don't think it's going to drop below 2,500. I don't think so. I think it's going to range between 2,500 and 2,900. And because Trump likes a strong dollar, and the strong dollar is bad for gold, so, or affects gold, so the price. So I don't think that. I think that's the deal. And it also depends on what the Fed's going to do and who's going to run the Fed. I'm assuming that Trump is going to get rid of the guy that's in there now, and I don't know what the next guy that runs the Fed is going to do. And I don't see how they can drop the rates a whole lot because of the interest on the debt, and I don't know how they can afford to raise it much because of the condition of the economy. So.
I personally don't think that they're going to raise interest rates up. They're trying to lower them down, but they're really in a tight bind right now because they need to sell their T-bills. Now, this is my own synopsis, and you can kind of do your own research on this. The T-bills have to stay up there as far as interest-wise to get people to buy the T-bills for other countries to, take on our debt. And so when they lower the interest, that lowers the interest on the T-bills. Well, I've been watching the T-bills. The interest on the T-bills have not been dropping. Hey, red light, thank you for coming. So if the T-bills are not dropping in price as far as interest, that means the government's paying extra amount for the interest and stuff on these things, and they're to enlighten people or get them to get in there. So what I think, the strong dollar is hard on gold and silver, but I really think gold and silver for the 6 months of this year, you're going to see it travel up, and I think it's going to plateau and it's going to stay there. I think silver is going to be around 32 to 33. It's going to go back up. And I think you're going to see gold back up around 2650 is where it's going to stay.
That's interesting.
Because if you look at T-bills, JM, the T-bills, the United States has to sell their T-bills because we have to have somebody carry our debt at this time, unless they just crash the economy and we don't do any more T-bills or anything like that and do something different.
Yeah.
But at the rate we're going, it's going to take Trump some few months to get things back. And so the Benny the Benjamin guy with the Treasury, he's not, I call him Benny. He's not working with Trump. I don't think him and Trump like each other. So we'll see what happens there. I think you're right. He will be replaced at one time. But I think the first 6 months of this year, you're going to see gold and silver climb. And I think silver will have the most momentum to go up as far as price-wise. It's as far as factors on that. I think it's going to go up. I've been looking in the chat to see if anybody has anything at JM T-bills. Yes.
So I know 79 said she can hardly wait to hear my opinion, and so I have been collaborating with 79 on this, and collectively we came to an estimate that silver was going to go to 100 and gold was going to go to 0 this year. Just kidding. Just kidding. But one thing I did want to say, seriously, is that there's panic going on when you've got an inverted yield curve with the
Yep.
treasury
Yep.
bills. And we've seen this since 2008, the beginning of the financial crisis. And what this inverted yield curve means is that they're paying higher interest on short-term treasury bills than they are on the long-term, which is the opposite of what you'd normally expect. And that means that there's a vacuum or a void in demand for the treasury bills on the short term. So I think they've been kicking a massive ball of debt down the road for a long time, and it's there. They buried it under a whole heck of a lot of paper.
Exactly.
It's going to come home to roost. So there's that on the treasury bills. Then on the currency, as much as I agree with Nickel that Trump likes a strong dollar, I would qualify that by saying a relatively strong dollar, because what Trump wants is manufacturing in the U.S. Okay, so if you're manufacturing in the U.S. and you're selling abroad, you actually want the other currencies to be relatively strong so that they can afford to buy your stuff. With a strong U.S. dollar, that makes it easier to import, right?
Yes. That's
right. And he's wanting to get away with that. So I think as much as Trump is very, very patriotic, really, he's okay with a, in quotes, relatively weak U.S. dollar. And we saw that during his last presidency because he was pushing hard for low interest rates. And low interest rates will soften the dollar. So that being said, I really honestly do think we're going to see $35 silver this year, and we'll see probably around $3,000 gold. I think they're both going to do quite well.
It's very possible that you could be right on that. It's really hard to put a spot price. That's why I was keeping mine around. You're going to see gold about $26.50. I don't want to mislead anybody on that, but I agree with you, JM, on what you're saying, and that's what we're going to see. Yeah. If you get right down to it, nobody wants our debt, and that's the problem. And you got the Fed buying our debt, and they're printing more money to buy our debt, and we're going to see inflation. If you gone to the grocery store lately, it's getting crazy. Tony said Tyson's laying off workers and employees, illegals. It's getting bad. I heard the other day that the count for layoffs for December was 550,000, and I thought, whoa! And that's what I heard, but I can't substantiate that. But if you don't hold it in your hand, you don't own it. No, I'm just really not on any type of digital coin. It scares the hell out of me, because you buy that, and what happens if we lose our power or something goes bad? Yep. And so Dale says the U.S. needs to drill and open up. Yes, I agree, and it'll happen here in a few days. I can't wait to see. Tomorrow is January 6th, and we're going to see a lot of stuff going on. Yes, eggs went up again. Yes. Do you know that here in my state, talking about eggs, people are not buying or are able to buy chickens, baby chickens, and they want you to register your chickens and your gardens that you grow, and they're really pushing that hard here. And so I've heard a lot of horror stories, and I don't want to push them out, but I really feel that they're going after, because in December 25th, there was 1 million eggland hens or birds put down on Christmas Day in California, and that didn't make the news.
Yeah, I think it's total control. Right now you could interview kids in the 5 to 7 year old range, and I bet you they would tell you that like they wouldn't even know that chicken eggs really come from chickens, or that apples come from trees. Like the mentality is, food comes from the grocery store or from the restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. People don't realize how close we are not being able to feed ourselves. It's really crazy, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Um,
that's platinum coin is not for sale. I think
yeah,
platinum's a good buy right now too.
Yep.
It's a good buy. It's
it's
a
it's
sleeper.
it's yeah, it's really crazy about what I'm seeing and going on and what they're trying to do. Uh, one of my people here, Tony, has been sending me links on how much food, and next Sunday I'll be able to do some more research on it. How much food is being recalled by the government right now? He sent me an article about cheese being recalled, beef being recalled. There's so much food being recalled right now that it's just unbelievable. And to me, they're trying to starve us out. I hope I don't get a strike for that, but
Hmm.
they're trying to starve us out, or they don't want us to be able to take care of ourselves. That's why they don't want us to have chickens or gardens or anything like that.
Yep.
Yeah, Barbara, it's getting really serious, and I hope you have a freezer and you can stock up with meat and produce and whatever you can stock up for. I think we're going to see some pretty hard times coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, it goes right into farming. Like I've heard a few interviews from farmers saying they're completely fed up because some of even the major, I won't name names, but tractor manufacturers are building these tractors so that you pretty much have to have a computer engineering degree in order to run them. And they can shut, like if the internet goes down, these tractors are not just going to run the way they used to.
Exactly.
There's no
Yep.
quick mechanical fix for them. So it's all, it seems like a top down approach. Like it really feels like communism.
Yeah.
uh,
Exactly. Exactly.
Going on.
And you kind of wonder. What I'm kind of wondering is who is paying these people to, I mean, 1 million chickens, egg laying or not egg laying, but these are egg layers and meat producing chickens. Who's paying these people to kill 1 million chickens? Think about how much money. Yeah, that's right. That's right. 79 Agenda 2030. 79 is right on. And so they're trying to destroy we the people and being able to do anything. They don't want us growing our gardens.
Yeah, it feels to me like Gil Bates might be behind it. I think that
You
he's
mean
one of the
Bill
players.
Gates?
Gil Bates, yeah.
Yes, yes. I he's part of it. He's the one that's releasing all these damn mosquitoes in Florida and doing these other. He's the one that's saying that everybody needs to get a vaccine. They're talking about trying to do vaccine passports again, and I don't think that's going to fly. People are going to just like the rest of us that would not, uh, do that stuff. It's just I don't think it's going to fly. You know, it's actually crazy, and
The problem I see is before Biden gets out, the stuff he'll do just prior to Trump coming in, and I would not be surprised if we didn't have a live war with Russia.
you know, it's possible. I don't think Russia really wants war with us. I think it's more of China is the one is the one we really got to watch, and they're wanting to come in there and take over this country, buy us out, and they're I think they should put all Chinese held land and take it away from them, and they cannot own land in the United States. I think that's an absolute wrong thing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I think that the Taiwan thing, it's looking more and more like they're about to go in. I mean, so that's going to be a problem. But and plus all the laws he's doing he's writing a bunch of making it tough to get oil, offshore drilling. He's just about made it impossible.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're itching for. And then we got all this stuff happening. We had the drones. We had the dude in Louisiana. We had the guy in Las Vegas. And then something in New York doing it. And then there was something in New York. All that happened right there together. And it looks like to me they're going to try to make the narrative that Russia was behind it or something like that, or they were because of it, and then have an excuse to really bomb or actually hit targets inside Russia. And then that would just make it so hard on Trump to get a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia at that point.
Exactly. Well, it's like Biden right now. Soros was getting some kind of medal, and I couldn't believe that. Why would Biden want to give Soros a medal? I think they need to give him a 6 foot or 7 foot box, you know?
Yeah.
For sure.
Not a medal.
It always seemed to me that the Democrats were more aligned with the Chinese regime, and the Republicans were more aligned with the Russian regime. You know.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure there's something to that.
I think you're pretty close on that, because I've been to Russia. I've met a lot of Russian people. I'm not going to say all of them, but when I was there, I met a lot of them. And the Russian people are good people. They're God-fearing people. They're a lot of their I think they're Greek Orthodox is their religion in Russia. And but the people are good people. They're hard workers. And hey, Truthful Troll, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Too many eggs to get for a yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's for sure. He wants to trade an ounce of silver for a dozen eggs. I'll give you 1 egg for an ounce of silver, Truthful Troll. How's that? That's a good deal.
That's a really good deal. Do that all day, all night.
That'd be a great deal for me. But for what's kind of what's going, what on that aspect of it is, I can't believe that people are that bought off or that easy to get bought off. Doesn't people have any kind of dignity or loyalty to be bought off like that? I mean, most people I know that, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, or whatever, Libertarian, they're not going to sell themselves to people, and so
I have a feeling that they went in and they said, look, these chickens are all a lost cause. They're all going to be destroyed. One way or the other, you can take the money or not. Right? I think that's how they operate. Same as when they expropriate land, right? We're going to take it one way or the other. You can take the money or not.
Yep.
And it only has to be a fair deal in their mind.
Yeah, exactly. I just tried to get 79. I just told her LeBlue again. I don't know if she has figured out what that means yet. She hasn't said anything yet.
What's your prediction next year for the Cowboys? I mean, this next coming up year with the Cowboys.
I think the Cowboys next year in 2025 will be 8-8.
Well, you know,
What'd they end up this time? What, 5-7 or 5-12 or something like that?
yeah. Well, you know, the Bengals would have got in because they beat Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh, and they would have got in. But the Kansas City Chiefs took the day off and played all their reserves, and so Denver won, and that knocked Cincinnati out. So,
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. My feelings of Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. That guy needs to step back and let somebody run that team that knows football. You know.
yeah, I think it needs new ownership. I think they need to make a change and bring new blood in, a new philosophy, and all that other. Yeah, I agree with you.
Well, it looks like Tony's talking about the Packers. That was a heartbreaking loss for the Packers. I tell you, they lost to the Bears. The Bears were 4-13 or something like that, 4-12 or something. Yeah, the Bears lost. I mean, beat them. So yeah, I watched that game. That was something. I'm gonna miss football. I tell you, I love football. So 79. Did you figure out what LeBlue meant? I'm trying to tell you, there 79. You
I got a question. Does it rhyme with olive juice?
It does.
Very nice. Hey, Rocky, thanks for having me up here. Happy New Year. Best wishes.
Thank you very much. I'm just looking at what time. You know, I wasn't planning on being here an hour, but thank you so much for coming up and Nickel coming up. And I was thinking, fight for the game. Yeah, reality. Yeah, that's right, Dale. And thank you all for coming up. And I was really surprised that it went by this fast. You know what? I didn't even do a giveaway, and I haven't got my gold bar, so I'll give a couple of $2 bills. So why don't we? Let's see how many's in here. Let's see. 10 people are. Whoa! All right, 10 people are watching, is what it says. So why don't we do 1 through 30, Nickel, and you pull out a number, and if you start now and go 1 through 30 and pick a number, see you later. Yeah, there you go. Snake bite is 16. There you go. Yeah, Barbara's got 69. There you go. You're my girl there, Barbara. Make sure nobody picked the same number. 79's got 27, 17. Lucky Star, what number are you picking, darling? So far, nobody's picked the same number, so it's really coming in there 1 through 30. Truthful Troll, 99. Okay. Lucky Star got 24. Nobody's picked 24. Silver Bushman says 9. Thank you for coming, Silver Bushman. Negative 99. There you go, Triple Troll. How about some rain your way, Triple Troll? Are you tired of rain like I am? My throat's starting to go. My voice is starting to go.
Oh, Water, the possibilities hadn't received anything yet from you.
That's what he told me. I talked to him last week about that, and I'm resending out stuff to ones that tell me they haven't got it, because the damn mail here, I don't know what's going on with it, but I'll send you another one, Water. Did you pick? Okay, 17. All right. Yeah, truthful troll, so am I. You got to work in that crap all day. Did you get a number yet, Nickel?
Yep.
All right. Everybody's got their numbers, so let's see what we got.
Whoop, knocked it away.
11. All right.
Isaiah Thomas's number when he played for
Isaiah Thomas. All right. Let's go up here and let's see what who got the closest to 11. Dean got 13. He went over 22. Tom Larson got 6. Dale Vale got 7. 18.
I think Dale might have won. Did I lose you?
Hang on here.
Oh.
All right. Okay. I think Mr. Dale Vale Beto got 9. Let me go back up and let me check. I didn't see Beto. Oh, Silver Bushman got 9. And let me go back up here.
Uh-oh. I think we have 2 with 9.
2 with 9. All right. Let me go down here and see who the first one got 9. Silver Bushman got 9. The first one. I think yeah, that's for sure. We don't need the more damn rain. Lucky Star 9 is closer. Yes, I agree. So I think looking at let me go back down again. Let me look. I think number 9, the first 9 is Silver Bushman. Let me go back down again. DNR, I live in Portland, Oregon, brother. Yeah, I think Silver Bushman. Yes, okay, Silver Bushman. I'm gonna give you my email and email me, and I'll send you two $2 bills, Chris, consecutive, and it's gonna be, they're pretty nice. So. Silver Bushman, there's my email right there. Email me your address so I can send it to you. And I'm writing it down right now that you get the guy.
Did you actually get to see that movie I told you about on the runaway car? Did you actually get to see that?
I have not seen it yet. No, I've been looking for it.
Oh, man. I don't. Whoever did that movie, he did not like mechanics. I can tell you. You can just tell.
Oh God, that's great.
It starts out the movie with complaining to the mechanic because something didn't get done like on time, and so I'll go, oh man, this guy don't like mechanics. I said, this is a movie for Rocky to watch here.
Oh, you know it. I gotta watch that.
It'll make you crap your pants. I ain't kidding, man. Going over 100 mile an hour in the expressway with high traffic. I said, oh my Lord.
I got to see it. Okay, hold on here. Just let me go back up. Silver Bushman, did you get my email? Make sure you got it and email me.
And the cop that's in it plays really realistic. You know, it's like, I mean, really great acting job because that's probably exactly how a real cop in real life would react to it. And,
yep, exactly. I can't wait to see it, you know. That would be, where did you see that movie on? Was it like Netflix?
No, YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Okay. Can you send me a link to it?
I'll try to. Yeah.
Yeah, send me a link to it because I want to see that. Well, I'm gonna end. My medicine is empty, and I need to make some more medicine. And I want to tell everybody thank you for coming. We had a good talk, Ricky lives near 84 East in the Gorge. Yes, I do. Truthful troll, I do. You know
Well,
it.
before you leave, who do you think is going to win the college championship?
You know what? If Texas beats Ohio, they will win it.
Yeah, but Ohio State's been playing better, so I had Texas versus Georgia in the finals. Well, Georgia got knocked out, so if they would have had their regular quarterback, I think Georgia would have got there, but the injuries killed them. But I tell you, I think Ohio State's played the best. I mean,
they looked really good. They crushed Oregon.
I know. Well, you know what I think happened there? I think Oregon, the layoff from playing, it killed Oregon because, they waited over 2 weeks to play. They got a bye, so they had to wait on it. It's better if you play the first round and then you come right back and play the next week instead of laying off and getting fat, eating, whatever else you do, and then forget what a football looks like. So I think that was their problem. And I thought that was going to hurt Oregon. I did. I said that they'll be, what would you say, timing will be off. They'll be slower.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened.
Dean R. says Ohio State and Notre Dame. I thought it was Ohio State and Texas.
Oh, no, it's Ohio State and Texas the next round, and Notre Dame and Penn State on their side. And Penn State's looked pretty good, too. It could very well be a Penn State, Ohio State championship. It could be. It could be. And I really believe SEC is a better league. And someone said, well, try to explain how come the SEC has struggled so much. And then I said, because there's tougher teams in the SEC. They battle it out. They get injuries. They go to war. And I said, then they get ready for this playoff series. And they got a bunch of hurt players, And I said, I think that's what it is. Because the Big Ten, it only had, let's face the music, it only had like 2 really good teams and maybe 2 decently teams, whereas the SEC, there's like 5, 6, 7 really good teams in there. And I think that's what hurt the SEC. So, and I'm a Big Ten guy, but I got to admit, I think the SEC is a better football league. So,
Right. Well, I'm going to shut this thing down, Nickel, and we will see everybody next Sunday, and I'll have a better program. I'll be feeling better and won't be working as much. Things are slowing down, I hope. And we will talk to everybody next week. Nickel, thank you very much. And everybody in the chat, thank you so much. And we will be sure, Silver Bushman, to give me an email. Thank you, sir. And you take care. All right. Okay. All right. Good night.
See you, everybody.